So, hello and welcome AV2 players, welcome AV4 players, welcome curious people all around the world. As I can already read in the title, I'm going to try to explain AV2 to you AV4 players, similar to the guide Beastyqt did a month ago in hindsight to the upcoming AV4 DLC, Salt Descent. Funny thing is, AV2 also gets a new DLC called Mountain Royals. It's coming out next week. I'm recording this on Friday. And it's coming out next Tuesday on Halloween. Spooky, spooky. And I thought, why not just unite our community, so to say, and explain to you what's different in AV2 than in AV4, what's similar. Can an AV4 player have fun in AV2? And we're going to try and find out. We're going to try and find it out. I'm sorry, I'm doing an unscripted video right now. And first things first, as I also want to focus on stuff that happens outside the gameplay. And it just popped up today. We can vote on map pools in AV2. So the map pool in AV2 rotates every 2 weeks. As you can see, next map pool rotation is on Wednesday, 9 AM my time. It usually shows local time. The devs usually pick 4 maps in the 1v1 pool and 6 maps in the team pool. Arabia and Arena are the stamped maps in AV2. They're always set. Mag-random now for some months is also the third constant pick. Some like it, some hate it. I personally like Mag-random, but I don't like the frequency it currently is. So the fourth pick we have is Valley. We can vote on 3 maps. This is the UI to vote the maps. It's far from ideal, but I have a video on my channel. I link it in the description. The map pool voting UI has been overhauled and has been improved. So currently leading in this example is African Clearing, Golden Pit, and Yucatan, which are funny enough also maps, the maps I voted for. Team games, Arabia Arena also always set same as Black Forest and Nomad. Those are the 4 default maps in AV2, so to speak. And yeah, for ranked, we have actually 2 ranked modes. We have Random Map and Empire Wars. If you followed Red Bull Wololo last year, you remember Empire Wars as the mode that was played in AV2, starting in Feudal Age, already with an economy, and so on. So, quite different to AV4's ranked map pool, apart from rotating bi-weekly. We can ban and unban, you know it from AV4, but we can also pick a favorite. So I can, for example, pick Enclosed as my favorite map, ban Arena, ban Arabia, and ban Mega Random. And out of these 4 maps, I now get a higher chance than usual to get Enclosed as my favorite map and the map that I will play. Our ranked system doesn't work in seasons like in AV4. As you can see, my rating is the poor Elo system. I'm far from being a top player, but I obviously know a thing or two about the game, as I already have over 400 games played on this account, my only account. And I guess I probably would be gold or platinum in AV4. So it's an equivalent of my 2 rankings. So you can also see that I only have in Random Map and that only in Random Map and Empire Wars I have a rank, which is because the game removes inactive players after 28 days. So we also have unranked lobbies, you know those from AV4, but you can also play ranked deathmatch and ranked Return of Rome. And Return of Rome is actually AV1, because AV2 had a DLC this year that added AV1 as a separate game mode, and you can play ranked with ancient civilizations. You can play Greece, Egyptians, Babylonians, you name it. Also big difference to AV4. You can obviously give maps lobbies custom names. This is a name. You can set the lobby type, you can set the lobby visibility, you can set the max amount of players. We've got co-op campaigns. Some of our campaigns have been made available for co-op, but we can also hide the Civ choice in the lobby. So for my opponent, instead of saying that I will break Franks, he only sees 3 question marks. That's a very good feature, I think, and something AV4 definitely still needs. We can also set a password. Yes. You can also spectate games. The bronze medal indicates that these players have 0 to 1200 Elo. If I have a name, yes, 600. We are in low Elo territory. We're playing on Scandinavia. Also, the scroll icon says this is a ranked game. Auto match usually is only quick play. We can create clans and browse through, obviously. And we also have a leaderboard. And you probably see some familiar names that also played AV4 in the past, like Viper, Hera, again Hera. I think you also played AV4. And we are also those to be on this leaderboard. We sadly only see the top 100, but we also have external sites that I will link in the description of this video. So don't worry. Quickplay, it's like rank without ranked. And the big difference is we have a different winning condition here. Because Beastyqt mentioned in this video that we only have one winning condition, which is defeat all opponents. Which is true, but not entirely true. Here we play on standard victory, where we still can win by destroying all of our opponent, but we can also win by collecting and holding all relics or building a wonder. But somehow in ranked over the years and also in tournaments, Conquest has evolved as the default mode in AV2 because people see it as cheesy through winning by such things as relic or wonder victory. And as I can also see, big difference to AV4, we don't have a different map pool here in Quickplay, we have the same maps. And as you can see, we can also save and restore multiplayer games in case they crashed, which is super useful for tournament games. So now what we talked about the multiplayer aspect, let's just quickly head to the editor to show you the game without actually playing the game. Because we can generate a random map in AV2 in the editor. So we see how the map will look like without actually playing it. And why not just pick Arabia, because Arabia is the most played map. So I can describe a bit what to look out for at the beginning. So here in red space, you can see we start with 3 villages. We start with a scout. We start with 4 goats, normally sheep, but it usually changes in our side. Sometimes all 4 sheep already have been claimed, sometimes they don't. In case of blue, also only that sheep has been claimed. Sorry if I say sheep, I will try to keep things simple. We have 2 rhinos, usually boars. And in addition to these 4 sheep, we have 2 additional patches of 2. So we have sheep 5 and 6 here, and sheep 7 and 8 here. So that's the standard start if you have 8 sheep and 2 boars. We also have a berry bush with some berries. We have 2 gold piles, 2 stone piles. This one is called the primary gold, this one is the secondary gold. Same with stone, usually the one that has more stone is a primary, the other is a secondary. And we also have deers, in this case zebras and an ostrich, I guess. Here on Arabia, they usually spawn in patches of 3. You can push them, you can mill them. When we are actually in gameplay, I will try to push one of them to see how it works. Simple story here. So yeah, Arabia, open map, lots of hills, smaller wood lines. It's basically the map where every civ, no matter whether it's naval, an infantry, an archer, or Celtic civ, can actually do something because it's the most balanced. The other map I want to show you is Arena, which is obviously the other classic. As you can see, you already start with stone walls. You also start with berry bushes. You have 4 ibex in this case in your base. You also have 8 sheep. In the middle of the map, you have 5 relics. In a 1v1, it's usually 5 relics. And they can get quite important because in a 1v1 that's your only chance to generate gold unless you want to do some sneaky stuff like trading with your opponent's market, which is possible. Yeah, and maybe for this special case, we pick 4 players and also set the map size to 4. Black Forest, the other classic that you also know from AV4. Here we start with cows, and cows aren't just a reskin of sheep. Cows have meaningful stat changes because if you select one of those cows, you see that it holds 150 food and has 14 HP. Now that I try to select a sheep, you can see the sheep will only have 100 food and 7 HP. So depending on the map script, you sometimes spawn with 3 cows instead of 4 sheep, but still have your 2 patches, I guess. Not in this case. Oh, no. You have a patch of 2 and a patch of 1, so it still balances out. You have your 2 boars nearby. You still have your berry bush and so on, and you can see here on Black Forest we have additional boars you can fight for. You also have ponds, and on Black Forest there's a certain matter of fish booming, which is especially successful with Malay, as Malay have a bonus with increased food on their fish traps. I try to show this later in game. And Black Forest is also one of those maps in AV2 where you play with explored settings. So you still have the fog of war, but you already see how the map will look like to take the most frustrating part out of the game. So yeah, those are the 3 typical maps. And speaking of maps in general, as you can see, we have tons of maps to choose from in AV2. We have also different styles. We have real world maps, like Australia or Central America, India. There's even an Earth map where you start with Nomad, so people need to settle somewhere around the world. We also have those special maps, such as Enemy Isles, which is like Team Isles, but as you can guess, you start with 2 of your enemies on the same isle. And we also have custom maps. The ES custom maps are maps made by the original developer called Ensemble Studios. Sherwood Heroes, for example, is a map where every player starts with a special unit, a Robin Hood unit. We also have the Unknown, and the Unknown is a bit like Mega Random, but even weirder. We also have Metropolis. There's a map in AV2 called Budapest where you start with 2 town centers, and in Metropolis you start with 3. So lots of macro and micro early in the game. But the maps we want to focus today are the standard maps. You can see we have different types of maps and nomad maps. Big difference to AV4. Nomad isn't a game mode in AV2. Instead, we have dedicated nomad maps like African Clearing. What else? Obviously the classic called Nomad, which in the original was a peninsula. Now it's a complete island. We also have Water Nomad, where you can actually fight TCs with ships, as the terrain is walkable for both ships and the humans alike. There are probably also some maps you remember from A4. We have a hideout map which you probably more know as Enclosed, because Enclosed is actually hideout in AV4. Obviously, Arabia, already mentioned before, Archipelago, I'm sorry. I think Golden Pit is another one that's in AV4 if I'm not mistaken. Islands, classic one. So yeah, to show you some concepts of AV2 with both water and land, maybe just pick a map like Mediterranean or Baltic. Maybe let's pick Baltic to make Tivas proud, because Baltic is his favorite map. Also big difference to AV4. Player number is not limited to map size, so I could play a free for all with 4 players on a tiny map, which can be fun. But obviously we make it map medium. Lithuanians, I definitely want to keep both to show you some concepts. Another civ I want to show you, as it has some kind of special start, is Gurjaras. This civ will be Saracens. And my civ, Hans. Yeah, let's pick Hans. Because as you can see, Hans don't need houses, but they start with minus 100 wood. So it's kind of similar to AV4's Mongols, but also already start at the pop limit. And speaking of houses, as you know, in AV2, almost every civ has to build houses except Hans, and houses provide 5 population, with the big exception of the Incas that was provide 10 population. So Incas in AV2 are basically Malians in AV4, because Malians in AV4 also get only 5 pop per houses. Here we have a Geppetto, I think that also exists in AV4 in some way. And they also have some gold related bonuses, because the villagers drop off 10% more gold. And before we actually load the game, allow cheats, because we need those to show you something that I want to tell you. Disable unit movement for all AIs, so we can switch between them. Another big difference, because before I show the tech tree, victory conditions, as I said, we have standard victory, we have conquests, we have time limit, we have score, and last man standing. Last man standing is especially fun when you play team games, because you have to betray your allies. We have inbuilt treaty up to 90 minutes. We can set the starting age and the end age. We have 4 different speed settings, slow is 1.0, so real time. Casual is 1.5, which is the speed that was used in HD edition. Normal is 1.7. Fast is 2.0, so double speed. We can set the max population from 25 to 500. In the original game, most campaigns were kept at 75 pop. We can set resources as an AV4. We can set difficulty. And we have different game modes, because in AV2 you basically only have one game mode with 3 win conditions, with a landmark, sacred sites, and wonders. Here we got random map, which is the closest you get to AV4's mode. We also have Empire Wars, as previously mentioned, but you recently now also have an AV4. We have Regicide, that you probably know as the Royal Rumble mod, where you have your king, and your king, if your king dies, you're out of the game. We have King of a Hill, where we have an indestructible monument in the middle you fight for. Deathmatch, where you start with ultra high resources in post-Imperial Age, so focus obviously lies on late game. We also have a Battle Royale mode that quickly died out. It was added in our anniversary update in 2020. Sudden Death, where you can only have one TC, and once the TC is destroyed, you're out. Capture a relic, which is like capture a flag. Defend the Wonder, where player 1 has a Wonder and everyone else has a Stormwind, so that's some kind of hard mode. We have Wonder Race, which is probably the eco mode in AV2, because no fighting whatsoever. The first player who finishes its Wonder is the winner, and we can also load custom scenarios like Dodgeball or CBA, you name it. So the map is set. I actually wanted to pick Hans. And let me show you the tech tree, because there are also some stuff that's different. First of all, with the cycle through hotkeys, we can quickly jump around in the tech tree. I've pressed Ctrl C, which is my hotkey, to go to the castle. So I'm quickly jumping to the part of the castle. When I press H, which is my default hotkey for the town center, I jump to the town center. And let's just quickly talk through the tech tree from start to finish. As you can see, we have the same for ages as in AV4. We have Dark Age, Feudal Age, Castle Age, Imperial Age. We also have an archery range. We have a barracks. In the archery range, we have the archer. The archer is upgraded to a crossbowman, and sometimes you can also upgrade to the arbalest. We have Skirmisher and Elite Skirmisher. Skirmisher hard counters archers and pikemen. We have the Cav Archer. Huns have a bonus for Cav Archers. As you can see, Cav Archers get cheaper over the ages. The Indian Siths in the game, apart from the Hindustani, get the Elephant Archer. Because we also have Indian Siths, obviously. We have the Hindustani, the Gurjaras, the Dravidians, and the Bengalis. And we have 2 additional technologies. Thumb Ring makes archers fire faster with 100% accuracy, so they will definitely hit their target. It's especially useful against standing targets. We have Path and Tactics that increases attack against pikemen and also armor for Cav Archers. Barracks, which is the first military building you build, has the militia, the man-at-arms, longsword, two-sword, and the champion. That's the militia line. Spear line hard counters cavalry, just like in AV4. It gets upgraded to the pikeman and the halberdier. As you can see, we don't actually have stats like bonus damage. We only have vague descriptions like weak against archers and infantry, but strong against cavalry. But there's a mod for it. It's called Improved Extended Tooltips, I think, that shows all these kind of stats. As you can also see, there's the Eagle Scout. The Eagle Scout usually belongs to the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas. That's the regional unit. And we also have some more techs like supplies that will make militia line cheaper. We have gambesons, warriors, and arson. You can pause the video and obviously look at the description, or you can look at the attack tree online. There's also a page that I will link. The stable, we have a scout cavalry, light cavalry, and hussar. I think that's more or less the scout and the horseman AV4 combined, but we also have knight, the cavalier, and the paladin. So you don't have your elite and imperial knight. You have an entirely different unit that obviously still costs the same. But yeah. You also have 2 additional techs. You have bloodlines and husbandry. Bloodlines increases hit points, husbandry makes them faster. Some Sith have access to camel riders. The Southeast Asian Sith have access to a battle elephant, also the Indian Siths. Mongols, Cumans, and Tatars have access to the Steppe Lancer, which is one of my favorite units in game. And Huns have access to the Tarkan, and after we researched Marauders, they can train the Tarkan in stables. Siege Workshop, we have battering rams, cat rams, and siege rams. Mangonel, Onager, and Siege Onager. The Indian Siths get armored elephants and siege elephants instead of the ram. We have the Scorpion, which isn't like the Spring Guard. It's anti-infantry and not anti-siege. We also have the Siege Tower. Blacksmith, also big difference with A4. We have 5 different techs here. We have forging, fletching, and the respective upgrades. Forging and its upgrades increase the attack of infantry and cavalry. Fletching, bodkin, and bracer increase the attack of archers, skirmishers, all kinds of ranged units, and also of town centers and castles. Town centers only get additional range, only additional attack, they don't get range. And we have 3 dedicated armor upgrades. We have padded archer armor, which gives archers and cav archers and skirmishers, it doesn't say here, additional armor, but also for cavalry and infantry. We're at the dock. We also have a fishing ship and a transport ship. Fishing ships can obviously fish for food. And we can also build fish traps, which are like farms on water. They're a bit more expensive than farms. Farms are 60 wood, fish traps are 100. We can trade by sea just like in AV4. We have demolition rafts and ships. We have galley, war galley, and galleon. I think the equivalent in AV4 is the archer ship for that. We have fire ships that counter the galley line ships. And we have a cannon guardian. That most Sith have access to. This the Huns don't have. They have access to the Drawman, which replaces the cannon galleon. And we also have some additional text here, obviously. We have the University, which is a Castle Age building, unlike in AV4, where it's built in the Imperial Age. Huns have actually one of the worst universities, sadly. They have there's masonry and architecture that increase armor and HP. We have fortified walls. You can upgrade your stone wall to the fortified wall. We have ballistics, which is probably the most important upgrade in AV2 that AV4 players tend to forget all the time when we talk about archers, but more about that when we're in-game. We have guard tower and keep because you can upgrade your towers. Towers are more or less the outpost equivalent. We also have dedicated outposts. It's I don't know where it is. Tech tree. Here it is. Outposts only give you additional line of sight, so an early warning system, so to speak. Heated charge, which gives towers and castles more damage against ships, useful on water maps. Murder holes, which eliminates the minimum range from towers and castles because towers and castles can't fire in AV2 when units are nearby unless you researched that tech. So probably the second most important tech as for the broad mass of players. Pro players usually delay that upgrade. We have Treadmill Crane that makes Witches contract building faster. Chemistry unlocks gunpowder units unlike in AV4, where they are already available from the get-go, but versus if with the Turks that you know as the Ottomans. Turks get gunpowder for free. And gunpowder related techs for Turks are also much cheaper. Siege Engineers, another important upgrade when you Civ Asset, as it increases the range of your siege weapons. Arrow slits, increases attack upgrades, increases attack of towers and donjons. Donjons is a unique tower replacement for the Sicilians. We also have bombard towers. And we have a castle, which is probably one of the most important buildings as well. I mean, it has an agent named after it. Usually in the castle you train your unique unit. Some civs also have 2 unique units. Gurjaras even have 3. Additional unique units are trained elsewhere where appropriate. We have the Pedard, which is more or less like the demo ship, but on land. It has huge bonus attack against buildings. The Trebuchet is an Imperial Age unit in AV2 to underline that the castle is actually a quite sturdy and strong building. 2 unique tags. The Castle Age unique tag is a Silver Crown. The golden one is obviously for Imperial Age. Marauders Asset enables training targets stables. Atheism, one of the not very useful unique tags, because Wonder Victories aren't that played much. Hoardings, that gives castles and dungeons additional hit points. Sappers, that gives villagers additional attack against buildings. And Rams, Conscription, that you probably know as Military Academy from the Blacksmith in the Feudal Age. It's a cheap technology, it's a bit weird that it's only available in Imperial Age. And we have the ultimate anti-camping tech called Spies. Its base cost is 200, it caps out at 20,000 I think, or 30,000. And it gives you instant a line of sight on every enemy building and enemy villager. Monastery, self-explaining. We have a technology called Redemption, where monks can convert siege weapons and buildings, except some exceptions, obviously. Monks can also convert enemy monks. We have Heresy, I don't know how to pronounce it, where instead of switching to the other side, your unit just dies. Sanctity, which gives monks additional hit points further, that makes them faster. Faith, faster regeneration. Oh no, that's Illumination. Faith is harder conversion, which effectively increases the conversion timer. And Theocracy, which is an important upgrade when you Civ Asset, where you can just convert units where only one monk has to rechain his faith. So the town center, the heart of your civilization. We have villagers like in A4. We have loom, which is a bit like textiles, but I guess this one is a bit more important than textiles. We have town watch and town control that both increase the line of sight of all buildings. And we have wheelbarrow and handcart. I think wheelbarrow is available in the mill in AV4. Those are also very important upgrades. And Hans get those upgrades for free. That gives them a huge power spike when they advance to the feudal and castle age and makes them a bit stronger. And also big difference, feudal age only costs food, castle age already costs food and gold, imperial age as well. And you need to build 2 buildings of respective age to unlock the next age. Mining camp, our mining technologies are split in AV2. We have gold mining and stone mining. Double bit axe, bow saw, and two-man saw in the lumber camp. Market, the feudal age. We also have technology called guilds that reduce the trade fee, so you have to pay less and get more gold when buying and selling resources. We have coin age and banking that reduces the tribute fees. And we have a mill with horse collar, heavy plow, and crop rotation. Those are upgrades that give farms more food. So now that I've talked about the factory, let's just jump in game and I try to show you a normal start. Maybe not Baltic, because in that case, because Baltic is a water map, a hybrid map, better say. Maybe just pick Highland instead, because Highland is still normal enough. So you don't have to automate build order. So usually at the start of the game you want to give your villagers. Normally you build 2 houses, but in that case we can forget the houses. I usually send 2 villagers under the town center and do some sheep scouting to support the scout. Because we want to find our additional goats in that case. So now we have 6 on food, which is fine. That's the amount of villagers you need to maintain constant build production. We found our first boar. We also see some, 2 deers, 3 deers. Oh dear. First to wood builds a lumber camp. So we found all of our sheep. Lucky me, they didn't start working on that one. As you can also see, I make enemy control groups. Those become important very soon. Trust me. Both bars are here, which is quite nice. So 4 on wood in that case, because I want to be a bit more wood heavy. I'm sorry, the game stutters sometimes. So the next villager will go lure the first boar. I'm doing something more advanced here. I'm using the so-called TC trick. I garrison all of those, shoot at about 2 times, and bam, he's dead. Unlucky. And as you can see, they work now on the boar. The next few villages I will send to berries. And maybe just push one deer for the sake of showing you it. So deers in AV2 can get scared. You can use it to your advantage. You can also push very easily by pressing before the command. By default it's E. Deers take 2 shots. I'm garrisoning way too many villages right now. And I'm idling my TC, but it's just here for learning. And yeah, can I switch to your outlays? Yep, I can. I will do it in a second. Because now I will give all players additional resources. So we've got more than enough right now. Yeah, maybe just let me show the Gurjaras start, because Gurjaras are a special case. As you can see, Gurjaras start with 2 forage bushes and can garrison all of the sheep into mills to generate food. So generally with Gurjaras, to show you the default start, want to build these 2 houses. The first villager, instead of sending it to sheep, will go to mill, because he will build a mill and garrison all of these sheep into the mill to generate food over time. And with Gurjaras you have to play around a bit, because they obviously can generate passive food. We're now in. If you look at the resource count, it goes up a bit. A couple of seconds, I guess. Yeah. The more sheep are garrisoned, the more food is generated. Let's just quickly build a second Dark Age building for them. Maybe use the Aegis cheat that gives instant everything. Loom, as said, is a very important upgrade, because without Loom, wills only have 3 attack, 25 HP. Now with Loom, they have armor, they have 40 HP, much stronger, also important for hunting boars. So, Fuel Age building for the Huns. Let's just give them. Yep. Let's give everyone Loom. And Advanced Feudal Age. So Hans obviously enjoy the bonus of not having to build houses, so with Hans you usually want to follow up by some scout aggression. Let me just quickly build a stable and a blacksmith, so we have our feudal age buildings for Hans. Maybe also build a market to show you something interesting. Our player 2 is Saracens, obviously. Right, we need to build a mill to unlock the market. It's a bit unlogical, because in AV4 all buildings are obviously already available from the get-go. And let's also build a market with the Lithuanians. So, as you can see, we have different market prices. If I sell 100 wood, I get 70 gold. So I sold 100, price dropped now, same with food, same with stone. When you now switch to the Lithuanian player, let's remember those prices: 69, 69, 90. You notice it's the same price for him, because market prices in AV2 are universal, and unlike AV4, they don't reset over time. So you can literally buy out the market. And the reason why I picked Saracens is because Saracens, as you can read here, they only pay 5% trade fee, and the markets cost 100 wood. So you can go heavy on gold with them and just buy your resources as needed. As you can see, they have totally different market prices. Selling wood brings 93, same as wood, and stone brings 122. So let's imagine the Ausifs don't have stone whatsoever, and I want to quickly gather some stone for a castle. So I buy. Let's now change to player 1, the Han player. And bam. Buying stone now isn't as vital anymore. So you can really play around with market, and I generally want to encourage new players to actually use the market in a 1v1, even if you can't trade, because you still can balance your resources and you can actively build them, actively use the market in your strategy. So back to making scouts. As you can see, an unupgraded scout has a attack of 5. If you paid attention earlier, it had 3 in Dark Age, because in Feudal Age scouts get +2 attack. And now that I apply the attack upgrade here, it has 5+1. When I apply the scale barding, also additional armor. So first value is melee, the second is pierce. So in melee it's a bit weak, and against ranged units it's doing very good. Let's go to the castle age and maybe research town watch. As you can see, additional line of sight. It's wonderful. Maybe let's ride with Blue's scout over here to show you something. And set him to no attack. Let me build a tower for this, to show you no murder hordes in action. And also 2 ranges. As you can see, the tower instantly tries to attack him, But without ballistics, he can obviously dodge. When he's now close enough, okay, that's weird behavior. That's definitely weird behavior. Maybe just build another tower right here. As you can see, the tower now can't attack because it has minimum range when I try to order him to attack. It says it can't. Usually it says minimum range, but for whatever reason that message isn't showing. Now, let me garrison these two villages inside. But I say let's just quickly ungarrison them. And move them here and let them go in. If you notice, you've now got a 2 in brackets. That means the tower will fire additional projectiles that also provide additional attack. Let me just quickly move around with the scout. And as you can see, additional attack. More arrows and less chances to dodge. Let me make some archers. Set them to no attack. And destroy that tower. I want to have an outpost right here. And right here, so we actually have vision on him. And set that scout on patrol. So now let's imagine this scout on patrol is constantly microing the archer. Let's give this one archer. Let's move him a bit forward, move the others a bit backward. And now give them that archer the stand ground command. As you can see, the archer will shoot where the unit is going. As it's close, it has an increased chance of hitting him. Actually, let's just give blue some additional scouts. And maybe also advance to feudal age. To the Gas Age, I mean. And maybe also monastery, so they can heal him. Let's move these a bit more away, move him more away, and give instant ground. Let's give both group the stand ground command. No attack and stand ground, obviously. Or better say, we just need one of them. Oh, okay, so now something interesting happens. Monks usually auto-convert units when they are being attacked or see that a friendly unit is under attack. So this just happened. I'm sorry, mate. We don't need you anymore. So yes, as previously said, go away, you aren't supposed to convert. He shoots where he's going. Sometimes he hits him, sometimes he misses it. When I upgrade him to... actually, let's give him more range. Give him Bodkin and also both armor upgrades. So you can actually try to hit him from more range. You see, sometimes he hits it, he misses it. Upgrade him to crossbow. You see, crossbow fires a bit faster, has a higher chance of actually hitting him. When I research Thumb Ring, he still fires a bit faster. But now when I research Ballistics, he will always shoot where he's going instead of where he is, and obviously also makes it hard for him to dodge. So in reality, dodging arrows is actually only a problem in Feudal and early Castle Age. Throughout the game you don't have that problem at all. So another concept was already shown earlier with units being able to with monks being able to convert without holding a relic. Let me just quickly move them up here. And let's build a castle. And advance to the Imperial Age. So, as you can see, Spies currently costs 2,200 gold. And as I said earlier, base cost is 200. And they have a couple of villagers. Oh no. Not what I wanted. Okay, so monks actually still act on their own. Interesting. So we have a... Yeah, they have an upgraded militia. Militia have 4 attack against towers. I mean they have 4 in general. Okay, that's a stupid idea to try to dodge ballistics. Yeah, but anyway, the thing I wanted to show you is units, especially villagers, have increased attack against buildings. So in general, when you see someone tower rushing you, you can just go forward with a few builds and destroy it. So let me just quickly research Spies. And as you can see, I get instant vision. I know where the buildings are. This is a super useful tech to actually avoid camping. And to show you another concept, maybe wrap this up. Yeah, we need a few more houses. Let's just make a Mangonel. Usually Mangonels don't have operators. I have a mod that adds them, because I like it that way. As you can see, when I try to attack that tree, nothing happens. Now that I advanced to the Imperial Age and research onagers, you see that the onager upgrade actually makes it able to cut down trees. So imagine this as someone heavily camping around the map, and you just sneakily find a way in the race. And another thing that's very important, Mangonels / onagers have friendly fire, but so do bombard cannons. So when I, for example, order the bombard cannon to attack the siege workshop, you can see my siege workshop is taking damage. When I order the onager to attack the scout dies. When I'm being close to another unit, as you can see, the onager needs to align, as onagers are one of the few units in the game that have minimum range. The other unit that has minimum range is the Skirmisher. And let's imagine a skirmisher wants to fight scout. You hear this arrow sound, which means skirmishers need to align. So we're not OP against archers at all. We still need minimum range. So, is there anything else I could possibly tell you? I mean, we've talked through the tech tree, I've shown you all the units, I've built a castle. I don't think there's anything worth mentioning left. If there is, maybe the AV2 players can note it down below in the comments. And I can maybe make another episode to show you a bit more of the basics. Otherwise, that's it for today. I hope you had fun in this small excursion into the AV2 world. Maybe you're keen to try it out now, and you're like, okay, maybe it's a bit old, but it's still interesting to play. It's a bit deeper than I thought. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.